And ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Mick Meanus. Thank you. Thank you very much. And welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to Big Mouth Live. So who's seen Army of the Dead? Love to know in the comments if you've seen the movie. I am going to react to the movie because I saw it quite a few hours ago. I've only seen it once. Not sure if I'm going to go back to it, by the way. I did mostly like it. Bobcat, hey Mickey. So Bobcat, have you seen Army of the Dead? You were saying you wasn't going to touch it. Haven't seen it, not watching it today. Fair enough. Anyone else, although we've only got 2 people in the chat, please don't tell me we're going to have another dead night, which means I've got to do more talking. There you go, that's my job anyway. So this movie looks terrific, which you would expect from a visual director like Zack Snyder. And I think I enjoyed the first 3/4 of the movie. And now I really thought the zombies were awesome, but they're not as good as the zombies in World War Z. Now, a lot of people were boasting about how fast these zombies are. Well, the zombies in World War Z are much better. Bobcat, I will stick around for the stream, though. Thank you very much. We can talk about whatever you want. We will start off with Army of the Dead, but is there anything else you want to discuss? We will discuss that. This is your forecourt, and I will discuss whatever you want. And so, yeah, I really like the zombies. I thought the zombies were great, but not as good as World War Z. I think World War Z is my favourite modern-day zombie movie, and I didn't see anything in Army of the Dead to tell me, you know, this is better. But typical Zack Snyder, we get right down to it. You know, we know what's... I mean, listen, the opening sequence is great. The credits are an amazing opening credit sequence. This is Zack Snyder Untamed. Bobcat, I love World War Z. It's a brilliant movie, and I can't believe they cancelled the sequel. Really good film. I think that's the best modern-day zombie movie I've seen, and I'm not even into zombies. But at that time, I was into The Walking Dead, and the zombies in World War Z are the best that I've seen and really well directed, and I can't even remember who directed World War Z. I know you Americans say World War Z, but unfortunately I'm going to say World War Z because I'm a Cockney from London, all right? You get me, right? So the start of the film is awesome, but guess what? Zack Snyder, for a second time, kills Michael Cassidy. He's going to have a reputation about being killed all the time, like Sean Bean. Bobcat, I know I'm at least going to watch the credits for Army of the Dead because people keep talking about them. It is Zack Snyder unleashed, untamed, and it's awesome. It's absolute nuts. So it's really, really good. And we get, after the credits, we get right down to the point of the movie. So, what's his name? Dave Bautista, because I can't remember his actual character names. I can't remember any character names. So if you've come here for an accurate kind of reaction or review of Army of the Dead, you won't get it here because I never, ever remember character names unless they're DC characters, right? Anyway, and so the Japanese guy recruits Dave Bautista to go and get his money back from Vegas. And Bautista thinks about this and he decides to do it. So he starts recruiting people. The thing is, though, we actually have to see him recruiting every person. Now, personally, I would have put some music over it and kind of edited highlights of how he was recruiting people. Then we could have had the group together. But then I suppose you don't get to know the characters a little bit and the relationship to them. But I thought it got a bit monotonous. You know, we actually had to see him recruit everyone. And so the Japanese guy's got them all there, and he's telling them what he wants them to do. There's a snag, though. His head of security is going to go with them. Now, from the moment this happens, you know this guy's a dick. I kind of suspected that he was just going there to kill them all, but that wasn't actually the point. But, yeah, so the head of security is going there. Now, my favourite character in this film is Lily. Unfortunately, Zack fucked her in the last third of the movie. He didn't literally fuck her, right? even though I wouldn't say no, right? She's gorgeous. She was a great character, not because she's gorgeous, but she was a brilliant character, and she knew about these zombies. She was an expert. She knows that there's intelligent ones that think like us, and there's the kind of beastie ones that are just going to tear you limb from limb. Now, this is a great concept. Unfortunately, Snyder doesn't examine this concept. I would like to know about these zombies who have intelligence. You know, we actually see one of the zombies crying in the film as well, which is great. And maybe he's going to examine this in the prequels and sequels. But I definitely think it's something we should have looked into. Of course, if this was a TV series, we would have looked into that. This is what's great about kind of Netflix original series. They have the time to expand concepts like that. So it's a great concept that a few of these, well, at least two of these zombies are quite intelligent. And so there's a man and a woman who clearly, zombie, that clearly kind of in love with each other. And they have this relationship. And so when they actually get to Vegas, it's really good, right? Because if we go back a bit, we're at this kind of camp, and I don't know where it is, and Batista's daughter is there. And one of the women wants to escape from there, right? And so there's this really arsehole security guard there. And what Lily does, she says, you're coming with us on this mission. Now I'm thinking, why is she bringing this arsehole? But there's a reason for that. And I don't think I should spoil it for you, but it did surprise me, and it was great, because what they do, these two zombies, they want a sacrifice so they can let you, walk around Vegas, because that's how intelligent and tactical these zombies are. And so I think, as I say, the zombies are great. They look great. And when they bite into people, you can see there's a bit, it's fucking gross near the end. And it's great when literally someone's head literally gets bitten and crushed. It really is good. So I'm not going to copy and paste the whole movie. I see a film and it gets cloudy. You know, these guys who kind of do these kind of reviews where these recaps. I really admire people who can do recaps, because I can't, because I literally forget things, and I can't be asked to start jotting notes because I want to watch the movie, man. I want to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? So for me, this is a 7 out of 10 movie, because I think the third act is problematic, and I think the ending is problematic. So it's like Snyder saw the synopsis for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad and thought, that's a good idea. Well, he's teasing this. Maybe I should actually do this. And so that's interesting. But unfortunately, there's a character that really pisses me off in this movie, and she survives. I'm not going to tell you about anyone else. I'm going to tell you, I hate horror movies or films like this that kill a lot of people and leave the most annoying character alive. And you know from the word go that this character is not going to fucking die. So all your favourite characters literally die, apart from this person who I couldn't fucking stand. So I'm thinking, so what do we do in the sequel? We're focusing on this person now, but she's annoying, man. It's a bit like when Snoke dies and you know that you're stuck with Kylo Ren as a villain. You're thinking, but Snoke was kind of intense and interesting, and now we're just stuck with Kylo Ren, and it's a bit like this character. And so by the end of the film, you're just thinking, I don't know. It's a good film. It really is. It's cinematic. It looks great. The action's great. The characters are mostly great. It's interesting. There's some good sacrifices from some characters. Let's talk a bit about, okay, well, I'm definitely not watching it now if it's the Suicide Squad kind of copycat. Well, it's something that James Gunn's been teasing, and he actually does it. So, well, James Gunn's been teasing this thing. Zack literally does this in the whole movie. Listen, this is a really good Zack Snyder movie. I don't want you to misunderstand me. But by the end of it, I was disappointed in how it ends. I don't like the ending. I don't like who they killed off. I understand it's a zombie movie. Most people die in zombie movies. But at least don't fucking keep the one person alive. That really annoys me, right? So let's talk about Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista, really delivers a fantastic performance in this movie. This is not Dave Bautista from Guardians of the Galaxy. This is an understated character. He's a father. He's a husband who had to do something so hideous that he had to do, that he had no choice. That's his backstory. Bobcat, yeah, Zach isn't getting my support with this one, especially with his fan base toxicity as well. Like I've previously said, listen, that some of them get on my nerves as well. Don't get me wrong, and I follow a lot of those people, and they follow me. But they're so territorial. And you know what I hate, Bobcat? I hate an echo chamber. My Twitter, my social media, my YouTube will never be an echo chamber. I don't like echo chambers. And unfortunately, the Snyderverse fandom is dominated by an echo chamber. You know, I was thinking about being honest about this film on Twitter, but they're Zack Snyder fans, but they're never capable of saying, you know what? Zack could have done better here. He was good here, but he could have done better here. And this is what I'm talking about. So, but as I say, it's a great, typical Zack Snyder movie. Looks great. You know, the kills are great. The zombies are great, especially the intelligent ones are really cool. Obviously, the tiger or the lion's awesome, which we've all seen in the trailers. He's literally a zombie. There's some great moments. And there's this really funny moment when they're talking to the rich Japanese guy. And the Japanese guy goes, easy peasy Japanese. So the Vault Breaker goes, you can't say the Japanesey thing anymore. And someone goes, the woman who's going to fly the chopper, she goes, I think it's okay if the guy saying it is Japanese. And I must admit, that was some sharp piece of wit from Snyder about today's, wokeness. So that was really good. Of course, Zack has told us he's a Democrat. So I don't know why Zack felt the need to tell us that, but I think he wants to keep on working in Hollywood. He knows what, political preference is in Hollywood. So he thought he'd kind of mention that. So as I say, I enjoyed the movie, but the ending kind of disappointed me. It could be a situation when I re-watched that, I could think, well, that's okay. And I didn't hideously hate this character who survived. It's just she was annoying at times, right? She wasn't really the character I was going, yeah, she's still alive. She's a pure character. She's a good character. She has good intentions. Don't get me wrong. As I say, Lily, the blonde woman with the short blonde hair, she's absolutely fantastic. She's my character. I even stated on Twitter that I want to marry her, right? Even though she's not real. But unfortunately, as I say, Zack screwed her by the end of the movie. And I was disappointed at that because she was quite intelligent in the first 3/4 of the film. Then she started doing dumb stuff. Designated pile driver. Hello, Bobcat. What on earth are you talking about? How about you watch the movie for yourself and decide? You have your own mind, right? Well, Bobcat's just a bit frustrated with Zack Snyder right now because he killed Harley Quinn in the Snyder Cut. And Bobcat's obsessed with Harley Quinn. So this is where he's coming from. I think he's going to get over this, watch the movie and think it's okay. But at the moment, he's on a negative kind of road about Zack, which is unfortunate. But Bobcat, like everyone else, is entitled to their opinions, especially on this platform. So, but yeah. So as I say, it's highly an enjoyable film. It really is. It's good. If you saw this in the cinema, you'd be saying, wow, this is awesome. It looks great. It feels great. Now, Junkie XL's music is interesting because it's a bit like David Bautista in this film, understated. It's not that high operatic themes you get in the DCEU. You get it sometimes, but mostly it's a very quiet score. Personally, coming from Star Wars A New Hope, I like that kind of operatic score, the loud score. So I was a bit disappointed that his score was understated. Don't get me wrong, his music's great, as it always is, but it's not the highlight of the movie, which is a bit disappointing. Obviously, Zack didn't want it overstated like he does it in the DCEU, but I think Junkie XL is really good with operatic, loud scores, so that kind of disappointed me a bit, to be honest with you. As I say, I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10, mainly for the third act, mainly for how it ended, who survived and who didn't survive. In terms of Lily, as I say, she's a very capable, great fighter, intelligent. She has knowledge about this world and these zombies. She knows what she's doing. She gets people out and she gets people into Las Vegas. And she's great and she's intelligent. But then she starts doing dumb stuff. And ultimately, I'm not going to say it because it's a spoiler, and because a lot of you haven't seen this, I don't want to be a dick and spoil the whole movie like a Grace Randolph would do or some of these others would do. But so it's a bit difficult for me to totally talk about this film, isn't it? But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed most of the film. I just wish that we were left with a character that I could say, yeah, bring on the sequel. And I don't know what's left, right? I don't know what's left now to do with this after the ending. What are we going to focus on? New characters? Because obviously, right, they're not going to do a heist again. Are they going to do a prequel? There was a kind of interesting concept. One of the characters was saying that maybe they've done this on repeat so many times and they keep on failing and failing and failing and dying. They keep on coming back. Time goes back and they do it again. That's what a thesis from one of the characters. As interesting as that concept is, I hope we're not going to go that way because that would be boring. So, listen, I wasn't looking for Easter eggs, and my concentration isn't at a level to check these things out. I'm sure if there's great Snyder or DCEU Easter eggs, that would be great. But yeah, an enjoyable film, an enjoyable time at the movies, I would say. A bit disappointed with it at the end with my favourite character. But ultimately, it's a really good, exciting film. Not sure if it's a film that makes me want to see it again and again. It's one of those problems with modern day movies. They don't have that repeatability for me. And once you know what's going to happen in this movie, I really don't see the point in watching it again. And that's not me telling you not to watch it again. I'm just telling you where I'm at. Because I actually specifically have to make time to watch movies. So that's difficult for me with everything I do during my days and nights. So as I say, this is a solid entry into the zombie genre. It is not a bad film. It's more good than bad. The action looks great. The visuals are fantastic. As usual, his shot choices are phenomenal, as they always are. So Snyder does what he does best. There's no question about it. It's a visual masterclass, and seeing it on Netflix in 4K on this telly early today was really, really enjoyable. Bobcat, just my opinion. Not everyone has to like the same things. You are a Snyder guy, obviously, and that's okay. We all like different things. That's a very good point as well. But I think also Designated Pile Driver is just telling you, give it a look, watch the movie for yourself, make your mind up, and if you still hate the guy and you hate the movie, that's fair enough. So at least you've got enough. I think what he's trying to say, and I don't think he's trying to be controversial or confrontational, I just think he's trying to say, you know what, Bobcat, if you want, go and watch it, then you can be informed when you're talking about it. So if you don't like it, at least you can say, well, I saw it and I didn't like it. I think that's what he's attempting to say, trying to be peacemaker here, So yes, a 7 out of 10, enjoyable flick that I probably won't be going back to in a hurry. For me, it's interesting. I mean, I was watching this film. I have one fault. Zack should definitely do an A-Team movie, because that A-Team movie they did years ago was shit. But the way Snyder puts this group of people together, and it works, and there is banter there. I wouldn't say this is James Gunn level of banter. As I say, that easy peasy Japanesey gag is brilliant. I thought that was brilliant, and that was the only time I laughed in the movie. But it was great from Snyder, or maybe his co-writer came up with it, because it's his story. But I think he penned the screenplay with 2 or 3 other people, so maybe they came up with the gag. Because I don't really think Snyder's a gag man, is he? But who knows? Who knows? So if anyone in the chat right now has seen the movie and you want to give me your opinions on the movie, I'd really like that. That would be cool. I have a feeling none of you in the chat have actually seen this movie. But if you have, please put your comments there. Bobcat, well, I mean, I'm used to this stuff because everyone has to support Snyder. I'm not interested in the film. I said I'd watch the credits. And if I'm interested, maybe I'll watch it. Fair enough, Bobcat. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, mate. I'm certainly not a dictator. If you don't want to watch the film, don't watch the film. I think if you watch the opening credits, though, you're going to be too intrigued to switch it off. Bobcat, all the Snyder stands do is make me not want to watch it. Yes, some of them can be very, as I say, territorial, off-putting, no balance in their conversations. No one can have a little bit of a negative opinion about the guy's films, and I've been a little bit negative. As I say, the third act is good in terms of what we see in the action and what goes down, but the choices on who he kills disappointed me because I don't think I didn't want the person who survived to survive. That's my opinion, right? Marcus Walker, am I allowed to talk spoilers? Yeah, go for it, Marcus, so we can have an open conversation. And anyone who doesn't want to see the spoilers, I'm afraid you have to leave the chat. That's not good business for me to say that. So, Marcus, absolutely. So we can have a good chat. And you can refresh my memory because, as I say, when I watch stuff, it leaves my mind. That's why I don't do kind of recaps because I forget. Bobcat, it's not you, Mickey. I'm just annoyed with the Snyder stuff and controversy. I understand, mate. We're still mates. Don't worry about it. Bobcat, I'm okay with spoilers. Thank you, Bobcat. Thank you. So, Marcus, go for it. Now, me and you can discuss this, and maybe a few more people will come in and see we're discussing it, and we can have a good debate about the film. Because, as I say, it's certainly not a bad film. I would give it no more than 7 out of 10 because, as I say, I didn't like the ending. And I actually really liked the first 3/4 of the film. It dipped in places, but mostly I think the first 3/4 of the film are really good. Hang on, Marcus, I'm trying to get rid of this bloody advert on my bloody screen. Hang on. Right. Marcus Walker, I really liked it, but I wish that at least Scott Dieter would have survived. Really, really pissed me off. Right, I'm going to tell you. Right, I'm not going to hold back anymore. Right, basically, everyone bloody dies apart from the annoying fucking daughter of David Bautista, and that really annoyed me. You're right. You're right. Dieter was an awesome character to move forward with, and I know the actor. I think is going to direct one of the next entries, but you know, Dieter, right? Because I can't remember their names right. I loved Ellie, Marcus. So I was disappointed that for the first 3/4 of the movie, she's an intelligent woman. Then near the end, she's doing dumb stuff that gets her killed. She was like my favorite character. But let's kill off all the good characters and make them dumb by the end of it. But let's keep the most annoying character alive. That really pissed me off. So I agree with your point there, Marcus. Dave Ethan, I dig the film, but I see a lot of Snyder Bros using it to bash on not just current DCEU films, but other WB projects coming forward to prove their point. Yeah, but you know what, Dave? It doesn't prove their points. It just proves their bitterness. Ronnie Dodge, hi, mate. Just finished Army of the Dead. Yeah, I have issues with the movies. Right, Ronnie, tell us your issues. I've just given mine. Marcus Walker, I just felt like killing them off just for the sake of it. Yes, Marcus. Yes, Marcus. It's, listen, your story, right? Because I've written a lot of stories, not, just on paper for my own kind of playfulness and enjoyment. And one thing is your characters. And if you're creating a franchise out of this, like Snyder is doing, you want to move them forward. Now, maybe we'll get prequels of these characters, but without the zombies, what's the point? So that doesn't seem. I know they are doing a prequel, whatever that's about. But at the end of the day, they killed off the people that we loved, and they kept the one person that I couldn't fucking stand. That, Batista's daughter literally didn't hate him for killing her mother, which he had to do, of course, but she hated him for a stupid fucking reason. And another problem, Batista's character was a little bit too much understated in this movie. Bobcat, it's just everywhere. I look on social media. It's Snyder, Snyder, Snyder to the point I don't want to even watch a Snyder film anymore. I just wish I could hide the word Snyder on social media. Joe Davies, hello, Mickey. How are you today? Very well, Joel. How are you? BlackRock 316. I enjoyed the movie, but some of the characters just didn't work for me. Well, BlackRock 316, tell us which ones you liked and you didn't like. Dave Ethan, I agree. I don't mind the daughter made out alive, but what's the point of killing all the good characters? My point is about the daughter, Dave. My point is really that there were better characters than her. I would have rather lost her. Ronnie Dodge, I felt like the certain characters that had great character building was killed for the sake of it. Yeah, I think that's what everyone's saying, Ronnie, and I agree. As I say, Ellie was my favourite character. I really liked her. Marcus Walker, I'm slightly confused about the prequel anime series. Well, it's a Zack Snyder project, so you're going to be confused. A lot of the cast are featured, but the characters meet for the first time in the film. Well, it's a prequel, so it's probably their separate lives doing other things, I assume. BlackRock 316, the characters that are doing stupid stuff. What characters, though? But as I say, and I'm going to say this quite a lot, Ellie, first 3/4 of Army of the Dead is great. Then they make her dumb, then she dies. So disappointed she died. So disappointed. It's a zombie movie. I expect people to die. But this is a franchise. So imagine killing Rick in the first episode of The Walking Dead. Look how crap The Walking Dead was after Rick left. You know, a situation like that. But I know that Andy Lincoln wanted to leave The Walking Dead because obviously he wanted to do other stuff and rest because that show asked a lot of the actor. It's a typical Snyder movie in a way where it really goes well for quite a while. Then you see certain decisions that don't make sense. Ronnie Dodge, I like it, but it didn't blow me away. Yeah, it's interesting, Ronnie, because I think the opening was pretty exciting and I was getting pumped by it in the early stages. And then I started noticing certain things that were eating away at me a little bit. It is a really good film, but it's not a classic, not for me. It's not a classic movie. I don't really have the motivation to watch it again and again and again. It's an okay, solid movie that I'll say, yeah. And obviously there's groundbreaking moments visually. This is Snyder, of course. Marcus Walker, the zombie embryo was horrifying. Oh yeah, the baby. The baby. I thought, is that baby dead or alive? Wouldn't that be awesome if he was holding the baby up and suddenly he's born and this is a kind of a new kind of life form kind of thing? How exciting is that? I think the point of that was to show us that these zombies can actually conceive kids, children, babies, embryos, whatever you want to call them. I mean, it didn't really shock me that bit. It was interesting to me and it was cool that I now know that zombies can conceive an embryo. That's interesting. I didn't find it shocking or disgusting or anything like that. You see, the thing is, Marcus, I remember a lot of zombie films from my youth, and they're shocking and they're horrifying. Even though you see them, you know, killing people and biting people, it wasn't a shocking horror movie. It's not supposed to be that. Ronnie Dodd, this is what happens when you Snyder run loose. I'm sorry, just a bit disappointed. Yeah, I'm not. I'm disappointed by the ending. I'm disappointed with who he killed off. I'm disappointed with who he let survive. But I think as a whole, it was a good time. But as I say, I certainly wouldn't rush to watch it again. It's a one and done for me. Because zombie movies, look, as I say, there's been great zombie movies, really good zombie movies, zombie horror movies. This isn't a zombie horror movie. That's not what it is. And it's not even Zack's speciality, really, horror, is it? Let's be honest. He's never been famous for doing horror stuff. But I think, look, as a director, he's going to work somewhere. So I think it's good for him to be on Netflix and do these kind of things. He's planning something big apparently as well, and we'll see. Listen, everyone wants to talk about him, whether it's positive or negative. I think he's the director everyone at least is going to direct. You know, he's going to remember when this era of filmmaking is over. I don't think we're going to remember most of these creatives in like 20 years' time. But for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, I think we're always going to remember Zack Snyder, which he kind of admitted he likes. So yeah. So 7 out of 10 for me. It's an okay movie. It's exciting. It's action packed. Very predictable that they were going to move the time up from Vegas being nuked. That was predictable. But yeah, it was underwhelming in places and it's a bit strange in places. But yeah, on a whole, I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was a cool 7 out of 10 movie. I'm glad I watched it. I don't feel I wasted my time watching it. But yeah, for me, it's nothing more than a good afternoon at the movies. That's it. You know, it's nothing more than putting an old going on streaming and watching an 80s movie and saying that's good, but I wouldn't watch it again. Ronnie Dodge, just let him stay with Netflix now. I will give it a 6.8/10 for that was a letdown. Yeah. Marcus Walker, I'd go with an 8. I didn't feel the length. Ronnie Dodge, down not 5. But the thing is about the length, Marcus, the length didn't really bother me. But I think before you came in, I spoke about Batista's character recruiting everyone. I don't think we needed to see him recruit everyone. We could have seen him recruit the important a couple of people. Then we could have had a melody of music and highlights of him going up to people and recruiting people and speeding it up. Dave Ethan, 7.5/10 for me. Fair enough. Yeah, that's cool. Bobcat, you know what? I'll watch it. It's free, so I'll watch it tonight. But I'm watching Big Shot on Disney Plus. That show is surprisingly great. John Stamos is an amazing actor, especially in that. I've only seen John Stamos in ER, and he was very good in that. Ronnie Dodge, it feels like Zach wanted to do a Suicide Squad movie, lol. I think, look, Zach is very nefarious, and he's obsessed with doing more DC movies. And I think he did this movie on purpose as a kind of Suicide Squad, hoping that what he did is better than James Gunn. Listen, obviously I've seen the test screening for the Suicide Squad. I'm not going to start saying what's better and what's worse because I've seen the edited, polished up version of Army of the Dead. I haven't seen the edited, polished up version of the Suicide Squad. But the Suicide Squad is a very impressive comic book movie. And it's amazing how note for note it is from some of the graphic novels, a certain one especially. And I think James has been very respectful of the origin, the core material. Zach's not really loyal to core material when he's doing comic book movies. Marcus Walker, I found some of the music choices odd, especially the covers. I think the originals would have been more effective. Yeah. If you're using a Presley song, you use fucking Presley. It was ridiculous. Also, Junkie XL's music was too understated. It wasn't the operatic stuff that I enjoy from him. Bobcat, I hope James Gunn's The Suicide Squad blows it out of the water. It will. Dave Ethan, he will return. Who will return? Dave, who's going to return, mate? I don't know who you're talking about. I think also with Dave Batista's understated character, I think you play people for their strengths. If I'm going to cast Dave Batista is absolutely fantastic in Guardians. Now, I'm not saying copy and paste that character, but Snyder, well, nobody knows. But I think Batista is good at certain things. And I think being this understated character who kind of bends the knee to his annoying daughter, I don't know. He played it well. He did his part really well. I liked the character to a point. But, oh my God. But one of my favourite moments, and it's a tragic moment, and actually, let's talk about some positive stuff. Ronnie Dodge, I just feel it's going to be a weird time that some Snyder fans will use us to attack us for looking forward post-Snyderverse world I am. Bobcat, I don't think he will be back at DC within the next decade. Maybe in the future when they're like, hey, remember the Snyderverse? Remember all the money we made? Well, he's 60, Bobcat, or nearly 60. So in a decade, he'll be 70 if he's still alive. So you're taking a risk there with that prediction. What was I going to say? Marcus Walker, some of the diehard Snyder fans have been saying WB are nervous about Army of the Dead. They're not nervous about anything. They're making announcements every day. We've had a Green Lantern announcement. And let me just say, about Green Lantern Corps. That project is looking on another level. I'm excited about, listen, I was never that excited about Super Pets, but The Rock being cast as Crypto is awesome news. Yeah, so that moment when the woman is saying to Dave Bautista, I love you, why do you think I came on the mission? And then she literally gets killed by a zombie. Great moment alert. That is one of the highlights of the movies. I like that tragedy about it, and Snyder got that right, and it was quite unpredictable considering. And I was shocked they killed off Batista. It's not really the norm to kill off your lead character. And I mean, it was kind of a, listen, the females in the movie are great. Apart from the daughter, they're great. And she was okay in places. But he was really focusing on the females in this movie. There was a lot of females in this movie. Was there less? I think there was less males than females, wasn't there? Bobcat, I'm working on a new profile picture right now. Mine's kind of a test before I do yours. Awesome. Thank you very much, Bobcat. I can't wait to see it. So that was a really positive moment. But as I say, the character of Lily, first 3/4 of the film, brilliant. And then he screwed her. He literally screwed her. And that was unfair. The problem is with Snyder, we all know he's a better director than he is a writer. He shouldn't write stuff. I actually think, you know what the best thing this guy could do is direct other people's material. Now, he's never going to do that because he wants to do his own stuff. And that's fair enough. He's in a position where he can demand that. So that's cool with me. But I think he's such a good visual director. Imagine him directing somebody's Star Wars movie or something like that, or directing somebody's DC movie, or even just directing somebody's Marvel movie. It would look terrific. The directing is what he's good at. He's not really a storyteller. Ronnie Dodge, thank God for Terrio for Justice League. All I'm saying, he can't write. Yes, look, he's not, listen, he's his strength, and I don't care what anyone says to me, I will argue over this. He's a great director. He is an artist, a visual artist. I've never seen anyone put on the screen the beauty that this man does. That cannot be argued. But as a storyteller, a writer, no. And I think this is why Man of Steel is more popular than BVS with the mainstream audience, because Man of Steel is written by Goya and Nolan. And it tells when you get to BVS. You can tell with BVS, he didn't write BVS, but he's crafting a lot of the narrative. Now, I like BVS before people start, but you can tell when he starts crafting the narrative, this is where the problems begin with him. And Terrio is a great writer, but even Terrio isn't perfect. He wouldn't really be the person I'd want to write my DC movie. I think he's good. His Batman versus Superman was a great script, but I'm disappointed because I wanted to see David Goya's Man of Steel sequel, right? He had a vision, he had a plan, and they've been that guy. They've been that guy after Man of Steel because it didn't make $1 billion. And then when BVS didn't make $1 billion, they blamed Zack. You've got to put the right people running your franchises. The MCU has proven that. But Disney didn't put Feige in charge. Feige was always in charge even before they purchased Marvel Studios. And they saw he had a plan and he was good, and they left him doing it. It's not rocket science. Bobcat, I'm not going to lie. He's a great director. I'm going to give him credit where credit is due. For me, it's just more of a moral thing. What, you think Zack's immoral? But I think, yeah, he's a great director. He's a great director. You can't argue that. His directing is brilliant. As I say, if I was writing something, I'd want him to direct it. There's no better director than him out there right now. I don't think anyone can do what he does. Ronnie Dodge, I think DC are heading in the right direction, although Snyder is a great director, just not a writer. I can't wait to see the 4 movies that are coming out and the HBO Max shows. I'll make my mind up. I hope we are heading in the right direction, Ronnie. It's interesting. There is an epicness about Snyder's DC movies that I'm going to miss, and I'm kind of worried we're not going to have that epicness anymore with DC. That is a concern for me, but I'm looking forward to seeing what these 4 movies do. It's important. But I did make a video and I said, if it was me, there will be a DC Studios, a DC Elseworld Studios, and a DC Black Label Studios. And Zack would be the head of the DC Elseworld Studios. So then he can do whatever the fuck he wants, right? And then you've got the main, because I think Zack is too talented just to say, go away. I think it's a shame, because when you look at his movies he's done for DC, they are stunning. Bobcat, no, just I feel like he should say something about being toxic to his fans. It paints him in a bad light. Ronnie Dodge, just have faith, ISO. Ronnie Dodge, have faith, I do. I have faith to a point. As I say, it's the epicness I like about Snyder's DCEU. I think that's awesome. It's a bit like the epicness of the Lord of the Rings movies. There's only a few directors who can do that or are interested in doing that. And I don't really think WB Pictures are interested in that epicness. Marcus Walker, I think Army will be a success by Netflix standards. Oh, the film's going to be a success. Everyone's going to watch it. There's no question about it being successful. That's not the debate we're having here. Dave Ethan, hey, you all got to go now. See you and have a great day. Thank you, Dave. See you soon. Thank you for checking in. I hope you liked the video. Thank you. See you again soon. Bob, I have a friend who is a Marvel guy and hasn't seen DC, and he said, I see his name everywhere in his toxic fan community. Don't know who he is, but I don't want him touching my stuff. Wow. People get very excited, don't they? I tell you what, he wishes a Marvel movie looked as good as Man of Steel and BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Forget the story, but I tell you what, that's how a comic book film should at least look like. It's the grandiose nature of what Snyder does. So I'm proud that DC, something that I love, has been touched by this guy's visual art, at the very least. And I mean, it's not like Batman v Superman. I think the arc of Batman v Superman is very interesting. Unfortunately, mainstream audiences and diehard DC fans don't want their characters deconstructed. And all Snyder really wants to do is deconstruct people. He doesn't deconstruct people in Army of the Dead, by the way. Ronnie Dodge, next year is the year of the Batman. Oh, yes. That film is going to be huge. After seeing those Planet of the Apes movies years ago, of course, I knew that Matt Reeves was a genius. And he's going to pull something off special, and I can't wait. We have got a lot to look forward to, and there's nothing negative in that, that's for sure. But the Snyder fans will always do what they do. Bobcat, oh yeah, I really like Man of Steel and BVS. BVS is disappointing to an extent, and Zack Snyder's Justice League is too long. Wow. Although we all knew we were going into a 4-hour movie, I suppose. I don't mind the length. I like long films, so it didn't really bother me. In fact, the length really excited me. And I think it's very clever the way it's been chapterized. So I never feel, oh, is this film going to finish? I kind of enjoy that. It's an epic, grandiose film, and that's what Snyder does. He takes his time. He lets it all unravel. I mean, I'm not suggesting that all superhero movies should be 4 hours. That was just a little treat for the fans, wasn't it? BVS is an enjoyable movie. I like what he's doing with it. I like how Superman dies and Batman realizes he was wrong to treat Superman that way. I like what the film is trying to say. Probably too early to kill Superman, and you don't do a Superman rebirth story bang spank in the middle of a Justice League movie. That's never going to work. So that's just my opinion, of course. Bobcat, oh yeah, I didn't notice it being that long, but for that extent of time, I don't think we got enough new stuff. Well, yeah, listen, Ronnie Dodge, I like BVS, it drags, but when Wonder Woman arrives, it kicks into hyperdrive. The thing is with Zack Snyder's Justice League, I was surprised some of the sequences I saw that I thought were Joss Whedon, right? When Lois says Superman smells good, I thought that was a Joss Whedon fucking scripted piece of dialogue. Who the fuck? And that's Chris Terrio, don't forget. That's a ridiculous piece of dialogue. I was surprised. That bit when Batfleck says he bought the bank, I thought that was Joss Whedon as well. So I was quite surprised in a lot of the sequences I thought belonged to Whedon when they didn't. Bobcat and Darkseid did nothing. Why didn't he jump into the portal? Because I don't know. I don't know if there's rules and he can't jump into the portal. I think it was too late by the time. I don't know. But there must be a reason. And obviously, he says at the end of the film, we're doing the old ways. But the thing is, I actually love Darkseid in this movie. I think Darkseid's a bit like Thanos is in the first Avengers movie, where he's in the background and they don't want to put him in the forefront. Because if he's just there, that's the end of the story. So you can't do that, can you? So I enjoyed Darkseid, and I think they had him in the movie just right. I enjoyed the elements of Darkseid. The Gaming Maniac, but she didn't say you smell good in the Snyder Cut. She said you spoke. It was redubbed for comedy in Whedon's cut. What? I swear in the Snyder Cut, she says the smelling thing. I'll watch it again tonight. And she goes, and then he goes, well, didn't I before? Are you sure? Because he goes, didn't I before? Even in the Snyder Cut, I swear. The spoke bit, no, the spoke bit comes in the house. It's outside. She goes up to him and says, you smell good, or whatever she says. Anyway, my point is, I'm surprised what stuff didn't belong to Whedon in the Snyder Cut. I was surprised, by the way. Listen, I think certain people should be doing Justice League movies and certain people shouldn't be doing Justice League movies. And Snyder basically comes from indie movies. And there's a mentality that goes with that. Ronnie Dodge, the only reason I would love to the Snyderverse to continue is to see Henry's Superman beat Darkseid in the third movie. That would be awesome. The Gaming Maniac, now you're making me unsure. I'll rewatch, but I was so sure she said you spoke because he didn't before. But I'll rewatch. Yeah, I'm a bit confused now. I think the spoke bit, I swear that was in the house. Because why would she say you spoke? And why would he say, well, didn't I before? You see, I can't put it on because of copyright purposes. Otherwise, I'll just slam it on now. If we've got crackly sound tonight, it's because I've got the air conditioning on. I just can't do another video without my air conditioning. It's too fucking hot here. Would you... I hate these pop-ups. These pop-ups are really beginning to annoy me. Ronnie Dodge, it's amazing we could have Keaton and Affleck incarnation in The Flash. Not could, we are. And it is exciting. The Gaming Maniac, just rewatch. She 100% said you spoke, not you smell good. What bit are you looking at? What bit are you looking for? You're not looking at the bit when they're on the field, are you? The Gaming Maniac outside when he's shirtless on the field. Well, I'll check it out. I'll check it out, my friend, and I'll get back to you. It's not important anyway. My point is, I was surprised some of the cringy bits that I thought belonged to Whedon and they didn't. Whedon got a lot of shit for stuff that wasn't his fault. And by the way, Whedon, let's be clear here. The Gaming Maniac, put it up right now. I can't for copyright reasons. But listen to me, right? To be fair to Joss Whedon, and obviously there's a history of bad behaviour now coming out from the Buffy people, but let's be clear, in terms of Justice League, this guy had to finish this film in a few months, rewrite it, reshoot it. Of course the guy was going to be in a fucking bad mood. It was a ridiculous, task to ask of someone to do. He comes onto a set. They don't want him there. He doesn't want them, but they're stuck with each other. A terrible situation. And I will say some of the stuff he did weren't terrible ideas. He was told. He was giving a remit to lighten it up. That wasn't his choice. That was what he was told to do. The Gaming Maniac, not important, just funny, lol. Bobcat, be right back, getting something to eat. Okay. Not sure if I'll still be here, but I hope to see you again, Bobcat. Ronnie Dodge, him being an asshole to Gal wasn't great, but he was told by the heads at that time. Yeah, listen, he's obviously done some stuff that I can't just cross over and say, oh, well, that's life. But unfortunately, a lot of things happen. And in life, people acting properly, but maybe other people acting properly as well to create that situation. Nobody knows. The Gaming Maniac, Whedon gets a lot of shit, and he did make a lot of weird decisions, but he still had a tough job. He didn't have to be condescending or threaten people's careers. That's on him. That's true. I agree, the Gaming Maniac. I can't deny that. Marcus Walker, are you excited for Loki? Yes, I'm excited because hopefully we're just going to have a great Loki series with some multiverse stuff and some time bending and some interesting situations. So, yes, I'm really looking forward to Loki. So I hope it's awesome. I mean, the MCU stuff's been okay thus far in terms of Disney+. I think WandaVision was definitely better. I enjoyed it more than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think WandaVision was a very inventive show. I think it did really well. And I think most people were bummed by it because they didn't get like the cameos and Easter eggs they wanted because they've been spoiled and they've been acting like spoiled brats for not getting what they wanted. Ronnie Dodge, Titans Season 3 is coming in August. Was that the big tease? They were saying they were going to release something, Ronnie. Is that what it is? That it's coming back in Season 3? Is that it? It's coming back in August. Is that the big reveal? To be fair, I haven't seen Titans since Season 2, as I keep saying. So I will have to catch up with that. I think it's on Netflix. The Gaming Maniac, just to ask really quick, did you originally think that I Bought the Bank scene was Whedon's? Just curious. Yes, I did. Because I thought it was I thought it was a shit thing. I just did. It doesn't. Let me tell you why I don't really like it. Because it seemed like weird tonally for what Snyder had set up between them. Not that I expect them to still hate each other, but yeah, so I thought Whedon did that for sure, and I was surprised that they did that. Marcus Walker, I find Titans really inconsistent in terms of quality. I enjoyed the first season. I thought it was cool. I watched a couple of episodes of the first season, and they were wasting too much time, I noticed, and I got a bit bored of it. It's not the worst thing ever. It's not the best thing ever. The Gaming Maniac. The line wasn't too strong, but I knew it was Snyder because no moustache and slimmer Affleck. Yeah, true. Ronnie Dodge. I did like the humour scene with Barry at the pet shop. Yes, that was cool. Yeah, that was quite funny for Terrio. Listen, Zach told us about his scary idea. That version of the Snyder Cut is not his scary idea. I think that's the one where they toned it down a bit. The Gaming Maniac. Oh, Titans Season 2 was great until the finale. What a letdown. I don't even know what the finale did. I know Superboy's in Season 2, so I kind of do want to watch it for that because literally, apart from the Connor Kent in Smallville, we've never had a Superboy live action. In fact, I would love to see a Connor Kent movie. Bobcat, I'm back. Welcome to the show, Bobcat. Welcome back to the show, Bobcat. And it's your host with the most here. The man the women can't resist. The Gaming Maniac. Won't spoil it, but definitely check it out and let us know what you think. I will do. Bobcat. Also, Ronnie, are you a Mama's Geeky patron? I feel like I've seen you there. I know you're asking Ronnie that, but I have never, ever paid money for Patreon before. Never. Marcus Walker, season 3 for Harley Quinn and Doom Patrol is what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, season 3 of the Harley Quinn animated series. I'm looking forward to that. Doom Patrol, oh yeah. I've still got to watch season 2 of that, actually. I love that show. The first season was amazing. Ronnie Dodge, I'm interested what the humour is going to be like in the Flash movie. Yes, and that could be something that the Snyder fans could use against the movie. But there will be humour there, of course. As long as it's not over-bloated with humour, I'm fine with it. But even the MCU movies are not over-bloated with humour, although some of them are. Ragnarok was. Ronnie Dodge, yeah, I'm a member of at Mama's Geeky. What do they do there, then? Why would you call at Mama's Geeky? What does that even mean? Is that a female YouTuber? Ronnie Dodge, Tessa does a bit of everything. Yeah, she's a female. So, is she hot? Bobcat, cool. I knew I've seen you before, lol. People always say that to me. You look familiar, mate. Probably because you might have saw me with your wife before. Bobcat, she's married and a mom. Don't worry about her being married and a mom. Is she fit? Don't worry about the marriage stuff. That's not a problem. The married ones are the best, Bobcat. I'm gonna check this woman out. What's she called? Mama's Geek. At Mama's Geeky. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check her out. Actually, I'm gonna check her out now for a laugh. Let's have a look at what is it called? At Mama's Geeky. Right, let's have a look. Where's my at Mama's. Oh right, yeah, I've seen her. Yeah, she's not too bad. The Bad Batch episode 1x4 reactions review. Let me just subscribe to her. Oh, she looks very excited. She must have heard that I'm checking out her video. Well, that's me subscribed. Ronnie Dodge, me and Tess are friends on Facebook. Oh, wow. You lucky boy. Bobcat, what have I done, lol? Marcus Walker, they just revealed that the first look at Impulse for Flash Season 7, it looks laughable. I've seen better cosplay, but I've given up on that show a long time ago. Do you know what? I feel sorry for the actors on that show because people are laying into that show. Listen, I stopped watching at the end of 3 or 4 because I knew where it was heading, but I still think that Grant is a fantastic actor, too good for that show. a great Flash, and I hope we do see him in the Flash movie. I feel sorry for the actors. But that show, you know, since Todd left that show, running that show, and we've seen him now running Superman and Lois and how talented he is. Since that guy's left, that show has been pants, and that's a shame. But that is the network's fault and the kind of people it's allowing to run it, because the actors are being let down. And we're seeing now that good actors are leaving that show, and they're leaving that show for a reason, aren't they? Ronnie Dodge, poor Tessa, what have we done, Bobcat? Oh, I think Tessa will be very happy. She seems like a very, very, very interesting woman. Bobcat, me and Tessa talk a lot in the comments and live chats. Oh, wow, she sounds like a very friendly lady. I wonder if she's on TikTok. You're on the jazz, ain't you, Hannibal? So, what does she talk about? It looks like she talks about everything. I spoke to her on Zoom yesterday. She's lovely. Oh, cool. Bobcat, oh, geez, poor Tessa. I'm not going to do anything to her, man. Oh, my God. You got me down as a right monster, ain't you? Look, guys, if her husband is taking care of business, then there's not an issue, is there? You know, no woman is going to cheat on their partner if the partner is taking care of business. Bobcat, yes, she had the Patreon live yesterday, right? I mean, I wouldn't pay for her Patreon. Bobcat, I'm just joking, Lo. I know. Marcus Walker, did you see that Dwayne Johnson is voicing Crypto in the Super Pets film? Yeah, very interesting. I mean, not the most exciting news ever, but it's interesting and it's a bit of fun, and I'll be looking forward to that a bit more now. Ronnie Dodge, yeah, we had a members meeting yesterday on Zoom. Bobcat, I'll watch Super Pets now. I think I was always going to watch Super Pets. I just wasn't that interested in that. But you know, it's animated, isn't it? Is it animation or are they using real fucking animals? If they're using real fucking animals, I'm not interested. I mean, I just don't know what you can do with it. That's entertaining. Animated, good. I'm not interested in this shit. I remember growing up, I was watching Look Who's Talking and shit like that. I'm done with all that. Marcus Walker, animation. Ronnie Dodge, Shazam Fury of the Gods started filming today. Very exciting, Ronnie. Thank you for that. Very exciting. I didn't realise Dave Bautista is 52. So Shazam Fury of the Gods is a go. That's the fifth. That's the fifth one that's been in production lately. So we've got 5 DC movies to look forward to in the next couple of years. Bobcat, I drove past a Suicide Squad billboard and I legit screaming and started pumping the trailer music. Got a pic of it, Lowell. Awesome. It's the next DC movie. Can't wait till it's released. Jesus is a go. I just finished Army of the Dead. Awesome flex. Zack Snyder done it again. Well, we have had an Army of the Dead discussion, Jesus is a go. And I said, I think the first 3/4 of the film are awesome. I'm disappointed with the ending. I'm disappointed with all the characters that died and the one that survived, because I didn't really like the one that survived. Was it Lily? Lily was my favourite character. Great character for the first 3/4 of the film. Then they dumbed her down and we know what happened to her, which was disappointing. Bobcat, it'll probably be my favourite DC movie. I hope it is. I hope it's a film you treasure and love. There's no reason why you shouldn't. Ronnie Dodge, bloody hell, what's fandom going to be like in October with all the announcements? It's going to be massive. It's going to be a big event with trailers, maybe more trailers than announcements, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen there? I mean, there's clearly a plan. Listen, there's clearly a plan. People say they don't have a plan. They have a plan. Listen, they've had a plan since Sarnoff took over. Sarnoff is the brains of that outfit. Sarnoff, you know, Hamada, those people, you know, Bobcat, hopefully more gun stuff. Well, I think everyone will be happy with a Harley Quinn movie written and directed by James Gunn. That's what people want. I think Margot has accepted that her stint as a producer, apart from in name only, isn't going to come around, especially at Warner Brothers. And exciting news, Kaylee Cuoco has signed an extension to her WB contract, which is cool. Jesus is a GOAT. Looking forward to Injustice Animated. Have you discussed that here? I just jumped on here a minute ago. Well, we discussed it a couple of nights ago when that news broke. But if you've got anything to say about it, I'm happy to discuss it with you. I think it's great news. I'm a big fan of the games, obviously. I think if it's cinematic and it's epic and they do it justice and they don't try and be overly different with it, as these people try. But I think with the animation, normally Bruce Timm is very loyal to the source material, which is cool. I think the animated DC films are better than the live action. I think they've been very, very faithful to the core material and faithful to the characters and what they stand for in the animation. The animation is a huge success and probably a bigger animation for hardcore DC fans than the live action, and I think that's a fact. I don't think that there's been a Superman film made better than some of the animated Superman movies. Bobcat, yeah, I love the Harley Quinn animated series. I'm going to buy a wall LED light of the logo. Got some of the Suicide Squad art in my cart as well. Awesome. Don't Amazon love you? I bet you two are going to grass me up to that YouTuber, aren't you? There's this really weird YouTuber out there, and he says you're good looking, and he wants to and he's subscribed to you because you're good looking. Be careful of him, though. I'm an alpha male. I'm one of the few men, right, on the internet, on public, who admit he's an alpha male and hasn't got a problem with being an alpha male. Jesus is a GOAT. What is your favourite animated Superman movie? I love them all. Hard to pick a favourite. Well, my favourite is Superman versus the Elite. That film is fucking amazing. It analyses Superman's no-kill policy. It puts it to the test. And then it tells the audience why it's so important, why Superman doesn't kill. And that film shows me why I love this character so much. So it's that film. Ronnie Dodge, I'm going to go skint at the fandom with all that merch. I won't sack nothing to Tessa. Oh, thank you. Bobcat, I plan on starting YouTube and Twitch soon. I really want to start doing it. I have the most stuff to do it. Well, do it. A YouTube channel. I'll definitely subscribe to that. Jesus is a GOAT. Yes, yeah. Superman versus the Elite. I want to see Manchester Black. Manchester Black is in my Superman script. As is Metallo, because I love that character so much. Not the Manchester Black from Supergirl, fuck you, but the Manchester Black from Superman versus the Elite. Marcus Walker, it's so frustrating. They keep revealing all this awesome Suicide Squad merch, but it's exclusive to that damn DC shop, only available in America. The shirts look great. Oh, here we go again. Only available in fucking America. At least Netflix are global. At least Netflix don't keep things away from people. It's so fucking annoying. Why wouldn't you let people buy things internationally? Bobcat, yeah, I won't say anything either, lol. Thank you, Bobcat. I mean, you can mention my name. You can say I'm a YouTuber who admires her content. Bobcat, Marcus Walker, I definitely don't have it all in my car. But yeah, that damn DC shot, that damn fucking HBO Max, that's only in America or mostly in America. What else? Oh, Superman and Lois. Oh, like, you know how they show you extra scenes of Superman and Lois if you've got the CW app, which you can only get in fucking America. I can't even see Superman and Lois anymore. It is outrageous, and I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed to high heaven. Hang on a minute. I definitely don't know. Ronnie Dodge, I saw your comment on Barbara's post about Sasha's Supergirl chair. We need to see. Oh, definitely. And I think I asked her for a suit review as well, Ronnie. Marcus Walker, I think we are getting HBO Max in the UK by 2025. I know, but you know what? Any HBO Max original you will get on Sky Atlantic or Sky One anyway, because they've got a partnership. So it's just been revealed today that the Friends reunion will be on Sky. So you won't miss out on anything in terms of that. Like you've got Zack Snyder's Justice League on Now TV and Sky Movies and all of that. So you won't move out. You won't lose out in the UK as long as you've got Sky. I used to have Now TV. I lost access because of fucking Brexit, right? I don't care what your politics are. When something fucks with my geek, it's not a good thing. Simple as that. And I can't watch Amazon Prime over here. Well, I can. I've got a way, but I'm not allowed to watch Amazon Prime over here because of Brexit, by the way. Now, you tell me, is that right? No, it's not right. Brexit is Brexit, yeah, and it also means I can't watch fucking streaming because of you. So we're going to give it 5 minutes, boys and girls, or boys. I don't think we've got any girls on the stream, which is a shame. So what is that Tessa YouTuber's speciality? What does she like talking about the most? Ronnie Dodge, before we see the Supergirl costume, we need to see Barry's new suit. Well, why can't we just have them standing together so we can see them both at the same time? Bobcat, I'm redoing my room kind of more geek themed. Also, I don't know how I would do my bedroom themed or anything. Ronnie Dodge, DC and Marvel mostly. Awesome. Does she give away what she's a fan of, or does she kind of pretend she's kind of, oh, I like everything? Is that what she tries to say? It's good business. It's good business to say you like everything, but nobody actually likes everything. People have a preference. Marcus Walker, if you don't me asking, Mick, how come it takes so long for things to arrive for you? I saw you got some things from Amazon months later. Yeah, I'm in Cyprus and I order from Amazon UK because we don't have a central Amazon here in Cyprus. So I have to order from Amazon UK and it takes ages for us to get that stuff because it's abroad. Now, also, since the pandemic, it's got worse, by the way. So that's why, yeah, it takes me. It's like Zack Snyder's Justice League. I won't be getting that till about the 10th of June and maybe the 15th of June or something ridiculous like that. Bobcat, I mean, she gave me IMAX tickets and an escape room experience. I got lucky in a giveaway. Wow. Ronnie Dodge, I'll have a group of picture of them in their costumes. Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, I think they should be revealing more chairs as well, hopefully. I hope so, anyway. Jesus is a go. Who's Who? Wish Me Dead. Angelina Jolie is a good movie. It's new on HBO Max, and I'd like to watch it if I had HBO Max. But basically, you don't get anything these days unless you live in America. Probably the only good thing about living in America is that you get exclusives, like you get like the streaming services there first. I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, America, America. Bobcat, I watched WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier every morning. It came out with her live. It was really fun. Oh, wow, that's interesting. And she was reacting as she watched it live then. Very interesting. How does she find the time to do all this if she's a mom? She must be making shitloads of money though, mustn't she? How many subscribers has she got? Erica Duran speaks about Tom Welling. I'm getting a lot of lady love as I get older. It's really important. Support from other women and blah, blah, blah. Boring. Bobcat, she has 2 kids and a website as well. Yeah, she's minted. She's making shitloads of money. I don't know how these people do it, you know. I really don't. I think you really have to have the time. You have to invest money. You have to, you know, you have to have advertising to get that successful. These people really go for it. They're very ambitious, aren't they? Ronnie Dodge, I hate that people outside of the US get treated different when it comes to merchandise. Merchandise, streaming services, Superman and Lois, things like that. There's a lot of issues there, Ronnie, and I'm not happy about it one little bit. Right, guys, I think we're going to wrap things up. Thank you very much for joining Big Mouth Live. I enjoyed talking about the Army of the Dead. I've enjoyed talking about the DC stuff. You're from the US, so you're very lucky, Bobcat. But the rest of us don't get. The other geeks don't get what you get, the access that you get. And that's not fair, is it, really? That's not very nice. And I think something has to be done about that. So, yes. Anyway, if you're rewatching this, comment down below, like, share, and subscribe. See you, Mickey. Great stream as always. Thank you, Bobcat. I will be back tomorrow morning with Big Mouth Live at some point. Maybe we'll have something big to talk about. Ronnie Dodge. See you later, Mick, and see you, Bobcat. Bobcat, yeah, it should be international. I agree with you, Bobcat. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Do whatever you're going to do. Share the platform. Tell everyone how awesome I am. And I promise you, I'm never going to charge for that thing that Tessa does. What is it? What is it? Anyway, that thing that you can basically see more of or whatever it is. Marcus Walker, Henry Cavill news, perhaps. Oh, yeah. Mikey Sutton. What happened to that Henry Cavill news? Nothing, you see. Bullshit. Why do people believe people like Grace Randolph and Mikey Sutton? Why? Patreon, that's it, Bobcat. Yeah. Yeah, I won't charge you Patreon, right? Unless I'm really successful and I get really greedy. But I don't like the idea of Patreon. I don't. Listen, it's business and it's good and these people make money and I get why they do it. But, you know, it's a bit like Cameo. I don't like it. It's a bit it just seems unethical to me. It's not something I'm ever going to do myself. But, yes, people want access to their creators and they're willing to pay for it, and why not? I suppose it's all fair, I suppose. Anyway, I shall see you tomorrow, the Big Mouth Daily Live. Let's see all the updates we're going to have, and I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, goodbye. And warn all those female YouTubers, you never know. Big, bad, mad, Mick, Big Mouth could be about. See you later.